So, I guess that happens. Hey everyone and welcome to The Regular Reviewer. Today we are reviewing Human Cargo, or if you live in America, then just Cargo, and so we don't get confused, not this 2017 film Cargo on Netflix, 2011 Cargo. A very impressive film? That is a lie, and I'm going to tell you why in today's video. First of all, obviously, spoilers. This film's over a decade old, but there it is anyway. So apart from this guy's comedic outbursts, this guy's blatant willingness to fall asleep while driving, and this guy's eyeballs literally popping out his fucking head every time he talks, don't expect more from this film apart from the obligatory upskirt shot and someone getting done over the canister with a cistern lid. This movie fell as flat as Natasha when she was trying to escape under a van using her best Justin Long impression, and the ending was bloody nonsense too, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Cargo, or Human Cargo, whatever you want to call it, was released in 2011. And a quick search will show you that it had a production budget of $4.2 million and a worldwide box office gross of $313,213. No information on how much it made domestically, but we can assume that, well, that was shit. This film's an absolute car wreck, to be honest with you. The only thing director and writer Jan Wiesenberg has done since this mess is a post-production documentary of Yeltsin. Cool. Is this because he's been hiding away in shame for the last decade? I don't know. But I'm gonna say yes. Tasha Reines, who plays Natasha... Hang on, isn't the guy who also plays Saeed called Saeed? And the guy who plays Raoul is called Raoul? Holy hell. They certainly didn't scrimp on the creativity with this one. Anyway, she has also done next to nothing since this film, probably still trying to push this one out. Information on this film is very limited though, and I'm guessing it's because Mr. Wiesenberg is still in the process of trying to flush it down the toilet and wipe the remnants off the lid. Natasha, the character, not the real Natasha, is a Russian woman who has flown into Mexico on the promise of job opportunities. What opportunities? You as the audience don't need to know that apparently, as this part of the film only accounts for less than 30 seconds, so don't worry about it. A brief exchange at the airport with this guy, who isn't even holding a sign with her name on it by the way.
What do you want this thing to say?
I don't know. What would you want it to say?
If it was my poster, I'd want it to say, "Welcome to Ohio, where's my blowy?" But
is all that is needed for her to willingly get into his van while Sway With Me, the original, not that macho mumbo bullshit, which by the way is about a guy who'll never love again, weird considering the premise of this film, plays in the background. She quickly has her passport confiscated from her, being told that it's safer this way.
Safer that way.
Safer than what exactly? Being trafficked? Natasha is then put into a bigger, better van, complying only having this information.
Where are these guys?
From the agency.
In case you're wondering, I'm not skipping ahead. We're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this film. A lot happens very quickly, but don't worry, that all comes to an end very soon. Just wanted to point out as well that this guy's accent changes from this...
Yeah, I need to make sure you're really who you say you are.
...to this...
it's out of my control.
...within 30 seconds too. What's going on, Dave? So she's in the back of the van and Philip Willingham, who plays Lucas, shows up and just starts straight up insulting these poor women.
She totally looks like a horse. Look at her. Zwatcha.
Rude, mate. Natasha gets briefly introduced to these lovely ladies. A 13-year-old looks at her funny, and then, finally realising she could be in a bit of danger here, she tries this piss-poor attempt at escaping.
She can't run in those little high heels.
No, she certainly can't. She gets twatted in the face by an unimpressed Lucas, and then they're off to sunny Houston, Texas. Yeehaw! Natasha wakes up in this quaint little basement, only to realise that she must have missed the induction ceremony where they gave the women their mattresses. Guess she'll have to make do with this cardboard box. Bet she's gutted about that. These sheets are super clean too. Suspicious, man. These guys, although not the smartest tools in the shed, know how to get stains out of linen if nothing else. I mean, look at their shirts. Immaculate. These two guys are just having a laugh, chilling, playing cards, you know, when this one gets so angry, his eyeballs pop out his fucking head and yeet Natasha down the stairs. Okay, that didn't exactly happen, but sprinkled in with this fine acting, and we'd have half a good film here. I was going to talk at some point about the investment I had with some of the characters, and apart from Philip Willingham portraying the best horse I've ever seen acted by any human in a film before, I have about this much investment with everyone else equally. After this guy so eloquently tells Natasha that he's going to... Our worst fears are confirmed. These girls are going to be used as sex slaves. It's not cool, Philip. Once Katya here has located her mattress, Natasha gets jealous and decides to totally invade her space. She decides she needs to try and run again, but clearly hasn't learned her lesson from the last time because she's still got those fucking heels on. But after this bit of information...
Те, кто был, говорят, лучше пусть убьет, чем еще раз.
It's probably still the best option at this point, to be fair. Let's just get carried away like a hot dog instead. Enter Saeed, played by Saeed, with these words.
Who must go now?
And we instantly know he's a bad guy, but he's going to do good things because he's just stopped Lucas from assaulting Tash. Ah, Saeed. If there was ever a film on how not to be a respectable Muslim, this is probably it. I'm pretty sure the Quran teaches us that there are enough signs in heaven and earth to guide people to God. Was this guy a sign helping you to follow God? Or this guy? Or the windowless van you traffic women in? Any of them? No? And let's not forget, the Quran also says, those who followed the arrogant leaders are also guilty. Let's put it simply, Saeed, you're fucked, mate. Ain't no amount of praying absolving you of this shit, buddy. Lucas mixes up all the passports that all look the same, so no one knows where any of the girls are going after he tells them. Natasha is gently persuaded to enter the van, and they're off to New York. I had no idea how far away Tamalpais? Is that right? Tamalpais? I don't know. It's a place in Mexico. Was to Houston and New York, so I Google mapped it, and I found it's a long arse drive, man. I live in the UK, and you could literally drive up and down the country with time to have an 8-hour kip in a travel lodge, enjoy their all-you-can-eat fry-up, and still have time for a Mackie D's on the way back. Probably the last thing on Natasha's mind right now. She's just eager to get the road trip underway. Still wearing those heels, I see. Take note of this light on the inside of the van too. No matter day or night, that light is there. No point to that, it just grated on me a little bit. The problem with films like this is, after you've realised there's no investment in the characters and already have the ending figured out, your eyes just start to wander to the low budget sets and really fixate on how it makes you feel. No? Just me? Okay. After the van drives past the same place 4 times, with different camera angles, think you're going round in circles, bro. Natasha needs to wee.
I need to use the toilet.
Or is this another geniusly thought out escape attempt? Feral children seem to own this forest, so be careful, Tash. The gas station attendant looks concerned and does absolutely nothing, even though Saeed opens the door so she would be able to see Natasha in a metal container in the back of a beat-up van, but she sees she's got her heels on and must just be thinking that she's had a heavy night out and needs her snacks. Tash goes for a wee. I love the way that you can see the cistern lid is about 2 foot away from Saeed's head in this shot. Classic. And now he's got brain damage or some shit rolling around on the floor. Oh, Saeed recovered quickly. Nice fortuitous. This helpful citizen, upon seeing a girl in distress covered in dirt and blood, knocks the fuck out of there. Must have seen a couple of those feral kids lurking in the bushes somewhere, I guess. Obligatory upskirt shot. And now for the caterpillar. Saeed says,
Let's play game!
whilst undoing his belt, and this can only mean one thing. That's right, he's going to wrap the belt round her wrists. Okay, that didn't pan out the way I thought it would. Tash tries to poop, and in the process manages to get out of her belt cuffs and take off one of her heels. That just seemed too easy. She's not sure what to do about this now. Take her other one off? Put that one back on? I feel this is the real conundrum of the film. So it's night time, and Saeed needs a nap, but gets rudely awakened by Tash as she has discovered how to use tools like a primate. So, she's been in a van with high heels and smashable windows. Why not just break one and lean out of it screaming like a banshee while they were going down the highway? I'm sure that would have got someone's attention, right? So he thinks the logical thing to do here, even though the window is boarded up in the next scene and he could have just kept her in the back, is to gaffer tape Tash to the passenger seat. This won't raise any suspicion, I'm sure. She pretends to spit at Saeed and he reciprocates, and they exchange a few loving phrases to each other in their respective languages. Skip ahead about 20 minutes because all they do is drive, and while Saeed is smoking some of the devil's lettuce outside, Tash manages to get his phone out of his jacket. How long has this guy been doing this? He seems like he puts a lot of unnecessary obstacles in his path. I don't believe for 1 minute that this is his first rodeo. And unless he's just got complacent, he should really be planning these trips better. Doing probably the most intelligent thing I've seen in this film, Tash rings the number on the back of a lorry. Cue awkward question.
Who did you call?
Cutscene and shocker, Saeed is driving, and they've just got into Virginia, and according to my Google mapping, that means he's been driving for around 19 hours. 1,265 miles? Only 6 hours and 41 minutes to go, my friend. Also, when I was Googling this journey, I found out there are numerous tolls that you had to go through on this route, and I know the route they took because they literally show you every single road sign they pass. Wouldn't anyone be questioning at the toll booths why a man driving this van, by the way, has a young and rather dishevelled lady gaffer taped to the passenger seat? No? Okay. We find out that Saeed's son is sick and needs an operation because his kidney is no good. Hence, why he's ruining everyone else's life today. I love that they try and make you feel for this guy. Another classic. He victim blames Tash like a true gent, and she expresses that she did not give him the right to tape her to a chair. Tash, I'm going to stop you for a minute. Riddle me this. Did they have the right to take your passport? Did they have the right to twat you in the face and kidnap you? Did this guy's eyes have the right to yeet you down a flight of stairs? And did they have the right to embarrass you by carrying you like a hot dog? I'm going to be honest. I don't think he or anyone else in this film gives a fuck about your rights. Tash calls him a terrorist and then bites him, causing the van to flip over. Not the biting, but the van just flips over. And allowing a dazed Tash to make her escape, at last. I'm only joking. She decides after walking 3 seconds along this road and not finding any help whatsoever, apart from those cars, to go keep Saeed company. Okay? That's a new one. I have no words for this. Then this happens. I have no sympathy for you, Tash. She kind of asked for that one. Meatloaf shows up and decides to help out the struggling couple before having his head convincingly bounced off of his car. The guys at the toll booth don't bat an eyelid about these two characters buzzing on through, and they're here. Yay! They got to New York. Hands up, who thought she would have escaped by now? Yeah, me neither. Lucas laughs heartily at Saeed, which really hurts his feelings, and walks off to get Tash, feeling humiliated. Don't worry, we're nearly there. The end is in sight. Saeed has a change of heart and decides he wants to buy Natasha instead. Not sure why. Surely he knows he hasn't made any friends here, right? I don't know. Maybe she'll appreciate the sentiment. Lucas explains he's not in it for the money because he's just a sick fuck that gets off on other people's misery. Charming. And Tash magically wakes up as soon as Lucas grabs her, although it seems she's forgotten how to walk without those heels. And now there's a gun. Where from? I don't know, somewhere. Guess it was in the car he robbed. We don't need to know the details. After Lucas takes a round in the shoulder, even though Saeed lowers his gun and shoots for what I assumed was his leg, but okay, Lucas compliments Saeed and a job well done, and Tash springs into action and is able to get the fuck out of there like a pro. Obviously confused by all the noise, she attempts to escape the police. You're making bad decisions, man. But inevitably, she gets stopped through fear of being shot. Saeed apologises and then just dies, I guess? Oh, okay. He was like fine a minute ago, what the hell? Guess his son's dead too then. Little Jimmy ain't gonna get that kidney for Christmas after all. And the film closes with this bit of information. Whilst the traffic woman is saved, the driver dies, redeemed, and Lucas, I'm presuming, is absolutely fine. I mean, he's got his money, he's probably got some doctors on the payroll, right? That'll patch him up nicely, that's great. And that's it. That is it. I don't get it. I don't get it. There were plenty of other good films released in 2011. We need to talk about Kevin, Killer Joe, hell, even Rango. I mean, come on. So why did this seem to miss the point of a rather important topic just so it could have the ending that it did? I just wish we had more going on here. If you take out all the shots of driving, the film you're left with has a runtime of about 40 minutes. Would that have made me happy, only having to watch 40 minutes of this instead? No, because I still would have had to have watched it. Might have made it a bit easier, but definitely not more enjoyable. I think instead of making this film about some weird redemption of Saeed and the tumultuous struggle of Tash in his care, they could have delved into the actual problem itself that involves hundreds and thousands of innocent people every year globally being trafficked. Not some fucking feel-good, everything works out in the end bullshit. These situations in real life do not end well, and the people that have to go through this sadistic torture very rarely manage to get out of it alive, especially because some bumbling fucking buffoon running the show who can't keep their shit together. This film does absolutely nothing to bring awareness to the actual problem, and instead kinda glorifies it at the end. Just remember that the only person that died in this film was Saeed. The trafficking ring is still active, and they are still going to keep doing what they're doing, but it's fine, because Tash is fine. I just want to make it perfectly clear that I'm not mocking what is supposed to be the point of this film, which is human trafficking. What I'm mocking is the absolute disregard to acknowledge that this kind of thing does not end well. But hey, I don't make films, so what the fuck do I know? Michael C. had this to say on Rotten Tomatoes, and I totally agree. Probably why the good folks over there decided to give it a very generous audience score of 34%. IMDb rates this film at 5 out of 10, which is obviously some sort of joke, surely. If you're new here, I rate things that I review with a score system out of 5 relevant to what I'm reviewing. In this case, we're going to be rating this film out of cistern lids. So, I give this belter half a broken cistern lid out of 5 cistern lids. I did want to give it a quarter of a cistern lid, but if you tried smashing one of those things into 4 equal pieces, it's harder than it looks. Here's the blurb on the back of the DVD, and I've just changed it a little bit to make more sense with everything that we know now. And that's it. Moral of the film, do not get kidnapped in high heels, and always make sure you have fresh covers on your mattress. This guy will hook you up. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on the weekly videos coming up. Thanks for your support to the channel as always. Makes me feel all fuzzy inside. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next regular review.